Okay, so let's take a look at how you can create the MariaDB instance and then use that instance to connect to applications like Azure Data Studio or even say MySQL Workbench, right? So our goal is to go to Microsoft Azure portal, then create the instance of Azure database for MariaDB server. That's first goal. Second goal is to open MySQL Workbench. So if you haven't installed it, make sure to do so. And currently I don't have any local MySQL installed, so it will be throwing off those error. But this is the MySQL connection option that we will be using to interact with MariaDB as well, because both of those are compatible and will be able to do everything that you do in MySQL into MariaDB database as well. So first thing, we will go to Azure portal. Here you can find the MariaDB server option from search bar, or you can go to menu, then services. Now here click on Azure database for MariaDB server. Now as you can see, I already have one instance, but I will show you how to make one. So click on create. Now this is the settings and configurations page for that MariaDB server instance. Now we will set project details with subscription. So in my case it's free trial, in your case it could be different. Then comes resource group. So every time you create something, then you will classify under a group of resources and you will use them accordingly. So I'm just training, so I name this training group. So in case of server details, you will give it a name, say Dev Maria or MariaDB sample, etc. Any name that you can think of, right? Then comes data source. If you want backup, you can enable this, otherwise keep it on default. Then comes location. You can choose location close to your own location, right? And that would work. Then comes version option. You can pick the version you like. Then comes compute and storage option. So let's configure that. Here you can choose between the tiers. Use small tier if you are not using it for anything serious. Then remove the auto growth option. Later you can enable it. You can set the backup to local or geo redundant based on your choice. Then apply this, and then let's come back here and you can add your username, password, then your review and create option. This should create an instance. Okay, that instance should look something like this, right? And from there you can see the server name, your login name, and password that you have set is going to be with you. So these are some of the things you will observe once you set up the instance. Now that you have your instance ready, next thing you can do is use this instance to connect through your Data Studio, your MySQL Workbench, Navigant, DBViewer, etc. But in my case, I'll be testing MariaDB through MySQL Workbench. So what I will do is I will download and install MySQL Workbench. Now let's click on plus sign. And this should show you the new connection. So let's name this, let's say Dev Maria, right? Then we have typical connection method. Host name, will be copying this, right? Then we have username that we will have to copy as well. Then store involved, here I will be saving typing the password. Click OK. You can even clear this if you want, and then again add that. Right now here what we will do is we will check the host name. Okay, as you can see the server name here, we will copy that, and let's come here to see what we can do. In parameters we can simply add host name like this, then username, where we have to use this complete name. Paste it here like this. Now let's test the connection. If it works, then it will ask me for password once again. Just save this. You can use save password involved and then click OK. It will give you a warning related to non-standard server version connection. Continue anyway. Okay, you made the successful MySQL connection. Click OK. And now let's click on OK again. Let's see if it allows me to see the existing data that we have. So let's try to find the schema. Right? So click on schemas. On the left hand side you have the administration. So all the data related to your database will be visible like this. But it is only fetch as per the MySQL's capacity to interact with that on Azure, right? So the best option is to always check your database related details right here, right? So we get to see everything. Now let's go here and click schemas. Here, as you can see, I already have sample database and have one table. So let's select first rows. We have like 4 entries here, right? So we can play around with it as well. So let's say if we picked specific, like say where id is equal to 3, right? And if I run this, then I can get the result. So as you can see, we managed to kind of connect with MariaDB instance hosted on Azure, and then accessed on MySQL Workbench on our desktop, right? I can also insert the data, right? So what I will do is I will just execute this again, right? So sorry, no idea what happened. Select everything, and now you can see we have like these 4 rows. Let's add one more. So insert into, let's say, employee, right? So here you will have to give the value sample.employee values, right? Before that, here you can also set it according to your structure, right? And right here you have like right. So make sure to use appropriate worker related codes so that there would not be any problem. So I don't know why it is not showing even after using tab, right? So we have our first query to execute. Select that query and run execute. Now let me go over here and let's see, our 5th entry is in. So let's add one more entry which makes it like 6. Let's say, then we modify few digits, then run the entry again. So we have like 6 rows within our table, right? And pretty much everything that we wanted is listed in table as well, right? We managed to access this particular database and the table from Azure hosted MariaDB, right? So we have the flow pretty much explained here, how you can access such cloud connection into MySQL Workbench.